Good afternoon and welcome to Black Petal Gardening. I'm Sia. If you are new to the channel, we are in Zone 8B here in Oregon, just outside of Portland. We are outside on our back porch and it is a surprisingly lovely day today. The sun has come out. We've had a little bit of rain here and there, which is not unusual for where we're at. But I wanted to take advantage of that and see what I can do as far as getting some soil and stuff ready so that we can do some seeds, because we definitely have a number of items that we want to put into the garden that really need to be seed started. And I'm actually kind of behind according to the Farmer's Almanac. They had said for most of these that this should have been done between the end of January and early February. So running a little bit behind as far as that's concerned, but that's all right. So today what I want to do is kind of get the soil together that we're going to use for planting our seeds. And I've watched a bunch of videos and I hope that I have absorb the right information and what will be considered important to make sure that our seeds get the best start that they can get. So no further ado, what I wanted to do is I found this container in our yard, and usually it has a lot of different flowers like pansies and other things in it to make a kind of nice flower setting, but I figured it would be perfect to do a mix of the different things that I've purchased for our soil for the seedlings. The first thing that I did, and I'm glad that I did because it showed me that nope, I don't want to use this soil, is I took some of our garden soil. We purchased it at Home Depot, and it was interesting. It is an organic. It's supposed to be for flowers and vegetables, but it does mention that it's really supposed to be for putting into the garden and not like raised beds. But you know, I was like, well, maybe we'll still be able to utilize it kind of as a base. No. So if we look in here, we can see that that particular soil has a lot of woody matter in it, very large pieces. So that's going to get in the way as our seeds, which, you know, are only so strong, try and, you know, burst forward and burst up. And so we don't really want to use this as something in our seed mix. I will say I am going to, you know, leave this in here at the bottom, just so it doesn't get, you know, wasted or anything. But I'm going to try and make sure that it's well mixed in so that hopefully it doesn't create too much of a problem. The other thing you may have noticed is this little thing right here, because this is basically a pot to do planting in. There was a hole down here, oops, for drainage, and really this was the only container I could find that seemed like it would be suitable for what I want to use it for right now. And so I needed to get that hole filled so that, you know, this soil doesn't just fall through the hole. Well, what happened, Scott is a purveyor of fine wines and alcohols and things. That's not my world, but he has his likes, and he had a lid top, whatever you want to call it, cork thing, sitting on the counter that didn't have a container to go with it, because it had already been recycled, and I wasn't sure if I would be able to get it in, but wonders never cease. I was able to force it, so now I don't have to worry about my soil running away. As an alternative for soil, I do have some seedling mix that I purchased. You can see that right there, black gold. And this stuff is very light and fluffy. it does have a little bit of woody component to it, but they're definitely not the same consistency, heaviness that I'm finding in the stuff over here. And you know, the more that I'm looking at that, I'm kind of thinking to be, I mean, if the goal is to be as best as possible for our seeds, I should just bite the bullet, dump it back. Don't be lazy. So there we go. Done. Um, so this is going to be the base that we're going to start off with primarily. And this is what I purchased when we attempted to do our seeds last fall, which didn't go really well. Some of the stuff came up, but we did some direct sow. We did put some seedlings in, and I just left it out here on the back porch, and they got really leggy. And from what I understand, that means they're growing up and the stems are really, really thin and delicate, and that's because they're trying to reach for light, and it's light that they're not enough light that they need. So this time around, you know, I not only will have this, but I do have a few amendments that I wrote down from other people's videos that I'll be mixing in with this, and then we'll put them in there, we'll plant the seeds, and I have a little table in our living room that has a grow light that we just purchased this year, and I'm hoping that's gonna set us up for success. So I'm trying to see. This is a blend of 70 to 80% sphagnum, peat moss, perlite, calcium silicate, and a wetting agent. It does say that I should be wearing gloves when I'm handling this, so I'm all ready once again. Not doing what I'm supposed to, and not quite 100% prepared. That's okay, because I do keep my gloves fairly close by. So that is an easy fix. And these are my favorite gloves. I don't know that there's necessarily a particular reason. They fit really nicely. They don't protect me too much from blackberries. Actually, I went and I purchased gloves that are for welders and stuff like that for using on trying to pull up blackberries, and they've been really actually pretty good, all things considered. So anyway, I have no idea how big this is. 1.25 liters, 1.4 liters, or 3.2 cups total. So I'll be honest, I don't know what kind of ratios will be considered, you know, the best for what I'm doing. I'm very much kind of winging this piece of it. So if this looks in any way professional because I'm checking out volumes and stuff, no, nope, no idea what I'm doing. But goodness, I'm sure that that's probably not healthy. What I think I'm gonna do a lot left of that. I think I'm going to do 3 of these. You know, what I'm working with is this. We got this at our local nursery, and I was gonna get two. I have the stuff that I had from last year as well, but it doesn't have like this dome top, which I feel is going to be very necessary to keep humidity situation in play. But it's also, I think that one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that one may have smaller cells, so there's more seedling pockets. This one has 48, and with the light that I purchased, I don't think it would handle the coverage that's needed for anything kind of larger than this. We would need to purchase a second one and figure out how best to organize it on the table. But 48 should be a good start, especially since part of the issue is we are still in the process of filling our new raised beds. We will have a video coming out at some point. We may or post it prior to this one coming out. Not really sure. There's a few things that I want to include, and with this being new to me, you know, doing a channel, editing videos and things like that, I still have to figure out how to splice multiple videos together. So that's definitely going to impact when and how my videos come out. But we have about a half to a third of our first bin to get filled, and we're just about the point, we're not quite there yet, probably about 2 more loads of wheelbarrow dirt from our old beds to get to the level where I want to make sure that the dirt coming in after we get to that point has been nicely mixed with compost, worm castings, you know, all of the stuff that they recommend to have a nice rich soil, because that top layer, that first 6 to 12 inches, is what they say that you need to have your amended soil cover for the plants that you're going to be planting in. So that's going to be a whole other step that I need to do. And if we only have one bin up and ready, you know, in the next couple of weeks, then having, you know, 48 plants ready to go at that time, you know, once they're up and running. I don't even know if the bed will be big enough for all of those. So hopefully we'll have 2, not just the one. But you know, that's a long-winded way of me saying 48 for now is fine, and hopefully I'll be able to cycle them in a manner that will work for what space we have available to work with. We'll see. We do have the green stalks as well, and those won't need quite as much dirt to get up and running and put in place. So that will definitely inform which seeds decide to actually put into the mix once we get it going. But anyway, I did to get 3 of these bowls. Okay. And this one looks a little bit darker than the other one. So I don't know if that's just because this one sat out, you know, throughout the winter. Maybe something about it dried up a little bit. It is so dusty. I almost wonder if I should be wearing a face mask. I won't mess about with this. Okay, just getting some of the bigger clumps kind of worked out. So this is probably suitable to just start, use as the starting medium as is. But I did watch a few videos, like I mentioned, and so there were some suggestions of amendment stuff that you could use, and I thought it can't hurt to include this. So it does say for seed starting that this encourages better root growth. It's lightweight, sterile, and has absorbent mineral particles. So I think that should certainly be helpful. Interesting. So according to this, you should do 4 parts potting soil, 1 part perlite, and 1 part vermiculite. Now, since this already has stuff that's mixed in there, including perlite, I'm only doing 3 parts. I'm not gonna do a full thing here. Maybe that's a mistake, but I guess we'll find out by how well or how poorly our seeds do. So here we go. We've got about half the container here of the vermiculite, and then, oh my gosh, oh, hope I'm gonna be able to lift this. Now that I think about it, I probably should have brought scissors out. These are worm castings, and oof, as you can see, I'm struggling with it because it is heavy. Now this does say 1 part worm castings to 3 parts soil for seed starting. So I am going to take my glove off. Sure that this does not fall down. I absolutely do not want to waste anything. But this stuff is very rich looking, and it is heavy as heck. Not sure what's going on over at the neighbor's house, but they're definitely making a decent amount of noise. Okay. Right. Okay, so this is a little bit more than half, but I feel good about the amount. Breaking up some of the little lumps. Now we're going to just add that into here. Okay, so we can see I've got this nice mix. And that's what I'm going to do, is just going to mix this right up. We want it well incorporated. So that all the seeds have the opportunity to take the benefits of these different items. Now the worm castings, obviously that's really good compost, and to me, having those in where your seeds starting, I think that will help give them a little bit of a boost that they wouldn't have if, you know, I just did a dirt or soil mixture that didn't have that in there. So nice. Now I did find a little stick in there, and there are some kind of bigger pieces of stuff. It looks like, you know, like some of that coconut stuff in there, so definitely interesting mix. So here's what it looks like now, all mixed up. And really that is the soil that I'm going to go ahead and use for my seeds. I think I will do the actual seed setting and putting the soil into the containers, making sure that I identify them in a different video, mainly because time is going by and I need to get back to work as soon as possible, but I do want to eat because I am extremely hungry. But before I do that, I did want to kind of show the things that I purchased so that I can do my labels. Probably a little bit unconventional. These are embosso tags, industrial data markers. I have no idea why I thought to use these, but apparently you can write on them with a ballpoint pen and it embosses in there, so you wouldn't have to worry about the rain washing stuff away, and you can always write on the other side if you need to reuse them. But they're not going to be as handy necessarily as just, you know, something that you're sticking in there. Though I don't see there's no reason why I couldn't just put them into the soil as well. However, I don't know how well they'll do in an outdoor setting because they are a metallic finish. So this may have been a poor choice. I really was mostly thinking about how do I ensure that I don't lose the data that I put on my tags, and didn't necessarily think further than that. They do have some little things to use to hang. I don't know that that'll be useful for the application that I need, but you know, we'll see how it turns out once I actually put them into use. And if I need to switch to a more conventional method, then that'll be a live and learn sort of situation, and I'll go ahead and switch over for that. Yeah, that's where we're at. Thank you for watching. I am going to close it here, at least for right now, and go ahead and enjoy something to eat. And I will see you next time around, and hopefully that will be when we're actually getting some seeds in some soil, and you can see what my setup is for the indoor space and which seeds I've decided to be the first guinea pigs for our spring seed sowing, indoor seed sowing project. If there are any questions, absolutely leave a comment. If you have any suggestions, tips, or tricks, please leave those as well. Just a howdy do. Love to have that interaction as well. Yeah, I hope you have a fantastic day. Like I said, it is quite lovely. So I'm hoping true spring is just around the corner, because it's always so nice once we get into those spring and summer months. Definitely looking forward to it. But we will potentially talk soon, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care of yourself.